All right.
Hooray!
Yeah. I made it.
Okay. We made it.
Guys,
I
made
can't
it.
believe it.
So much has happened since we decided to hey, maybe we should get Josh on this.
You know what hasn't happened? Getting Josh on this shit.
Yes, we decided. I mean, not y'all didn't decide. I messaged you hey, let me on. This looks like fun. And then I were oh, we should make it work, and we just never could.
Let's make it work. Let's not make it work.
So much has happened. I stopped and started making videos again, and I've gone through 3 name changes.
What's your name now?
Well, I guess JV. Right now, that's part of the JV Radio Review.
Should have gone with Steve.
My new music review channel that I'm not going to discuss too much in length because it's quite literally goes against the title of this thing.
Don't worry, we break the rule all the time. So
you do. I actually noticed that you it's called Everything But Music, but occasionally Cam will bring up Vince or you or something will get brought up.
Yeah,
and I'm just well, there you go. I should start keeping count.
So if you do that shit, you're gone.
Oh.
I originally had some sort of gimmick for or was planning to have some sort of gimmick for whenever that happened, but I decided against it because that would get old really fast.
I know you mentioned oh, maybe I'll make the voice squeakier, and I've been waiting for that to happen, but you've been phoning it in, man. You just, you've just been
Wow, you know so much about us. Or this show, I mean.
I watch it. I watch it. I'm one of the 5 that do.
That a boy.
When you get 7 views on one, I'm guaranteed I'm at least 2 of those.
I love it.
Nice.
That makes me so happy.
I'm kidding. You guys are really fun. I love you both. I think you're both great people. You both make quality content.
Aww.
I love both of your stuff.
Thank you for stroking our ego. That should make for a good introduction for this episode.
I do have a bone to pick with you, even. A little bit. Because you released that best of thing for your own videos, and I gotta say not only is that kind of a questionable move on your part, also my cameo was not involved, and I have to say I'm a little upset.
I would have involved the whole sequence, but that would take up too much time, and but I just because it's not there in the best of doesn't mean I don't love it or anything. I love that.
It doesn't mean you're not the best.
I'll just go back in time and re-edit it to add in that part.
Okay, it's pretty simple. Just need your class and game, and got it. No, no, wait, me. I can get here. Well, I'm sorry, kind of this point, so hold on, I gotta call you right. I'll be back. Oh, wait, you're alive? Yeah, so why did you call me? Yeah, sure, I was gonna do that. I thought we did. Shoot that number. Yeah, who's sorry? They didn't myself. They didn't think okay, look, I don't need anymore. I have someone else. You found it? Yeah, I found it all the time. What? It was under my. Oh no, I heard you. But I mean, what? Oh yeah, I tried to see how I so yeah, okay, fair enough. But still, what? What? Yes, yes, we know. Well, here you go. Oh, yeah. Thanks for the work. Thanks for the email. I see works. Exactly. Bye.
Yeah, let's officially start this thing.
Yeah, so welcome, folks, to Everything But Music. I am Even, and I, of course, have my wonderful co-host, Campthony Says Words Tano.
Tano. It's Campthony Says Tano. Thank you very much.
And we have our first guest on the show, a person who's been following us ever since our inception and has been wanting to be on the show for a while, and of course is a good friend of ours. He wouldn't be on here in the first place if he wasn't. Mr. Josh, or JV, or where do you want to go? Yeah.
Hey,
Joshy.
Whatever, just call me Josh. Whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's so many.
Yeah.
It feels so great to finally have you on here, dude.
It really is. So are we really just cutting everything that happened before?
Yes, of course we are. That's what we do with our mistakes, Josh.
Oh, come on. Which
is why we'll be cutting you from the entire program.
Just you two, with a lot of dead air.
Yeah, exactly.
It was all man, what did you think of that?
Every time there's a pause, it'll just be followed by a, shut up already. And everyone will be like, what was so annoying? I don't understand.
So on today's episode of Everything But Music, we're going to be talking about our favorite and least favorite animated series.
Ooh.
So I'm sure we've all seen our fair share of animated shows or cartoons, if you want to call them
It's mostly all I watch, really.
Anime is not cartoon.
Did I say anime?
You could have. We need to clarify that for the children.
Yeah, for the edgy children who like wear the Naruto pins on their backpacks.
Yeah.
Go around like. I actually have I don't know if any of you have seen Naruto, but I actually do have a Naruto pin on my backpack.
Wow, I like how that was your first example, and it is you.
Well, yeah, of course.
Josh
Naruto's
is edgy.
good. I know, of course, like Cam is like very your knowledge of anime begins and ends with Pokemon and that 2 episodes of Sword Art Online you saw, right?
I also saw 3 episodes of Attack on Titan.
Oh, okay. And Attack on Titan's very good.
Sure.
Yeah.
What about you, Even? What is your anime experience?
Oh dear, I wish I could be more or see more anime, but I just don't have the time. I've seen Gurren Lagann, like this. Yeah.
Gurren Lagann is really good. That's another really good one.
I've seen Kill la Kill too. I think
Kill la Kill's fantastic.
Yeah, the most obscure anime I've seen is okay. I was watching a Watch Mojo video of the top 10 bloodiest animes.
Top 10 anime betrayals. Which is number 5 is you saying you watched a Watch Mojo video.
Oh, God. I was young then, but I've changed. But anyway, one of the examples they had for top 10 bloodiest animes was a little show, kind of obscure. Some people know it's called Elven Lied.
Oh.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if I'd call Elfen Lied obscure, but it's definitely like one of those anime that like a lot of people know, but it isn't like in the stratosphere, like say One Piece or Naruto or them is.
Yeah. And so yeah, I watched the whole thing. I thought it was pretty good. It was certainly heavily flawed, but I liked it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
I'm gonna use this as a segue because one of my favorite animated series of all time is an anime, which is why I'm glad it got brought up. It's a series that's on Netflix.
Oh,
it's very good. I highly recommend it if you prefer like a more like low key show. It's called Welcome to the NHK.
Oh yeah, I've seen that on Netflix.
Yeah, it's an anime about a dude.
Well, isn't that just what we all want?
It's about a dude who's this total like shut in, who never leaves his house.
All right, so it's never mind. I was gonna make fun of people who watch anime, but that's too easy. I'm not gonna do that.
It's like he is complete social anxiety, total like not like capable of interacting with others, and just spends the entire time in his room. And this girl decides, I'm gonna save this dude. And is constantly trying to like give him things to do in order to build his confidence, but every time she does, he just ends up getting super addicted. And they go through like a bunch of things like video games, porn,
the 2 things.
Yeah, that didn't help when like his neighbor apparently was a game designer, and he makes those like erotic gal games. And he tries to get him involved. So like they tell like, hey, I need you to do research on how these games get made. So play some of them, and he gets addicted to them and doesn't get a lot of game designing done. You know what I mean?
That happens.
But yeah, like as he goes through his addictions, he like learns about himself. He learns about his depression. The characters all the characters are depressed and fucked up in their own like special way. And by the end, it doesn't get better. Like it did not get better.
Oh,
like they're still generally in the same place, except they're kind of happier in their own twisted little way.
Well, that's fun.
Interesting.
Yes, it's a very quiet like show with like there's not much actual animation, like even by like anime standards. Because like a lot of times you watch an anime, it's like just a dude standing there staring, and the camera zooming while somebody else off screen is talking. Like just
yeah.
But like it's a really quiet and like atmospheric, and just like, there's a lot of cool. When it does ramp up the animation though, it gets weird with its like dream sequences and its like crazy imagery. It's very good. I really recommend it. It's something that like it's not a show I'd say like watch this to get into anime, but if you are into anime or just want something really weird, I'd recommend that.
Ooh.
Yeah, so yeah.
Yeah, so if I ever leech off someone's Netflix account, I'm certainly going to put that on the watch list.
If I ever feel like feeling really sad,
I'll include that in my life mission to avoid all the anime.
Okay. I mean, like, I'm sure like that was the only anime I planned on mentioning, so I wanted to get that out of the way quick.
Nah, that's
all right,
beautiful.
cool.
That sounds nice.
Yes.
Yeah. So like the list has started. Let's just make sure, right? That was your first entry.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Do you want to go next, Cam, or do you want me to say something?
You can go if you want.
Okay. So I have like 4 down for my favorites. I'm only going to be talking about 3 but I have 4 down just in case like some of us overlap. So let me go for something that's not quite my favorite, but still just I have very fond memories of it. Good old Ed, and Eddie.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Good old Ed, and Eddie. Like it's not just like incredibly well animated, incredibly like funny at times, and like with all the slapstick going on, and it's just what really gets to me in that show is just how good the writing is.
Yes, it's very like just clever.
Yeah, it's like very intelligent, even though like the things they're saying aren't that intelligent and at most kind of juvenile, but just like the way they're saying it is, and the way it's written, I should say, it's just very, very, very well done. Like watching a few episodes, having like not seen the show in quite a while, like I was just like kind of amazed just how well it's held up.
And sometimes like you just kind of get floored by how like easy, because like you said, it's really well written and smart in the sense that they sneak some shit in there that you just barely notice. Like I remember like my favorite bits was always whenever like the Eds were in trouble and Ed would like list like his home life by purely like he's like, oh my god, Sarah will tell mom and mom will tell dad and dad would say, don't talk to me, I just got home from work, or something like that. And he would just really express his neglected home life like just in a very quick comedic way, and you'd miss how like, oh god, or
yeah,
oh god,
they're all neglected, those cul-de-sac kitties.
Yeah. Like we never take time to actually appreciate how like really messed up like Double D's like life is. Just like he wakes up like to notes every day. That's it. That's it.
That's so sad.
Yeah, it's very sad.
Not even any money to buy some food.
Did you watch Ed and Eddie, Cam?
That was what I was gonna say, is that like I have almost never watched Ed, and Eddie because like when I was growing up, for some reason like my parents were super like afraid specifically of like cartoons. They did not want me watching cartoons. I don't know why. They were totally fine with me watching like A-Team and like MacGyver and stuff with like violence and explosions, but for some reason like SpongeBob and Ed, and Eddie, they were like, no.
You will not watch that sponge flip burgers. Watch Mr. T shoot a man in the face. Like
no, exactly. Yeah, it was like that, and I don't know why it was like that, but it just was. So as a result, mostly like the Cartoon Network shows that were like kind of weird, were something I like never really watched, especially Ed, and Eddie, because I was a baby and it scared me.
Of all the shows that like I would understand a parent not quite showing their kid, I think Ed and Eddie like is among them.
From what I can gather, it does seem that way.
It's very adult, like it's like in the sense like, or not adult, but it's very, I think like people, it's like common. It's a very mean spirited show. Like the show very rarely ever ended like, oh man, everything's okay now and we all learned a lesson. Like never. There's like I think like one of the weirdest ones to me. One of them ended like, I forget what the episode was about. See if you can remind me even. But there's the one where like they launched Eddie in this like iron containment unit and they like blasted Rolf and Kevin. And like the episode just ends with Rolf and Kevin beating the shit out of Eddie. Like it's just like he just, all right, pick a body part to beat up Rolf, and he's like, oh, okay, I'll take this part, and then they beat the shit out of him, and then the episode ends.
I vaguely remember that.
It ended often with just them getting the shit kicked out of them, and like it's
in some way.
I think like there was another one where Eddie was charging money to like for people to hit Double D and Ed off a tree while they were hanging by their underwear, and you just watched as they like let them beat the shit out of his friends. And when they got down, the episode ended with them like freaking like with Eddie on like the tree, and they were like jumping on a board and nailing him in the face with it. And it ended with him getting hit one more time and yelling for his mom.
Who of course never came.
Oh god.
Oh man. Like there are two episodes I specifically remember. Like there was the one where there was like an item that I think I can't remember. I think it originally belonged to Rolf, but he had like either gotten rid of it. It wasn't the phone, like that's what you were thinking. It was the other item that. No, it was the boomerang. It was the boomerang.
Oh,
yeah.
That was a weird one.
Just like what sticks out to me is like at the very like if you hold like the thing is like with the boomerang when you hold on to when a character holds on to it, they're like the exact opposite of what their personality is. So like if Ed held on to it, like usually he's dumb, but now he's very smart. And like if Eddie held on to it, like he's very abrasive and sarcastic and mean, and now he's like
maternally, like very specifically maternally. I don't know, like it was like he's all greedy and hungry, and then he gets the boomerang and he thinks like everything's a baby and he's trying to feed it. It was very specifically that he was maternal. I don't know why.
That's weird.
And then the biggest one to me was Double D, who's like usually so shy and nervous and unsure of himself. He just freaking lets go and literally strips.
Oh, good lord.
Yeah, like literally he's like, I got a need to feel the breeze between my knees. And
Can we not?
Mama Nature and me got a thing going on.
No, thank you.
It's such a good show. Like it used to be on Netflix. It's not anymore.
Yeah.
I don't like a lot of those Cartoon Network shows get like I think fucked with the rights. Because I remember like it gets weird. So I remember Courage the Cowardly Dog used to be on it, but only season 2. So I mean, I don't think it's weird. I don't think Cartoon Network owns Pokemon anymore. But like you said, like they got rid of the last few episodes of Pokemon. Like for you, Cam, like.
No, the thing that made me so sad with Pokemon is when I was watching the original Pokemon on Netflix, they had 2 seasons of 52 episodes each, so they had 104 episodes, and they were just split into 2 seasons. I don't know if that's how it actually is, but that's the way it was on Netflix.
Anime generally doesn't work like that, like I feel.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. So like, as literally the day after I finished the first season of 52 episodes, they removed the second season of 52 episodes. And so I was just sitting there like, shit, because I loved that. That was hilarious.
Pokemon is a very good show. All right, so Cam, it's your turn. And are we going like in a pattern of like good show, bad show, good show, bad show?
Yeah, that's the plan.
All right, it's
okay. You guys, like I said, I have like no bad shows because I'm not negative.
Oh yeah, Cam is like
you miserable fucks. Anyway,
good joke.
I mean, I have something to talk about, but okay. So for my number 3, it was like they're all like relatively new, but like these like because I didn't watch a lot of cartoons as a kid, and like not all of them are things that I'm super interested in like going back and revisiting, I guess.
Yeah, I can get that. We overblow.
Or not at least not like immediately, especially with like all the good shows that are out right now.
The shows today are definitely like better. Like I mean the good shows of today are definitely better than the good shows of back then. And you wrong generation 90s kids can eat my ass about that. Like
So yeah, my number 3 is Gravity Falls.
Oh yeah.
I mean that's not surprising probably to anyone.
Yeah. You own the hat.
I have the hat. God, I love that hat. That's the hat that people like recognize. Yeah. I also had like a Kendrick Lamar hat. Far more people noticed the Gravity Falls hat and pointed it out to me than the Kendrick hat. That made me laugh.
Why do you not wear the hat anymore, Cam?
Oh, which one? The Gravity Falls one?
The Gravity Falls one, yeah. That's the Cam hat.
No, it's not anymore. No, it's not. I'm not going to wear a hat.
Because I've only seen a few episodes of Gravity Falls. Like I've seen like 3. I saw like the first 3, I think, or no, the last one. Tell me how Cam. The last one I saw was the one with like the Loch Ness monster style thing.
Yeah, that is the second episode.
Okay. Oh, okay. I only saw 2 then. Wow.
I'm trying to remember what it is. It's got a weird name, but that's a good one. The camera gag in that one is hilarious.
Oh, it's like, I very specifically brought 8 cameras or something. Like.
They like bring all of the cameras and they like steadily lose like 100 cameras throughout the episode because the joke is no one ever has a camera when they see a monster. So they like Dipper makes a point to bring like 50 cameras, and just throughout the episode they slowly lose the cameras in massive chunks.
Speaking of cameras, I just want to go back to Ed and Eddie for just a quick second because
like
I forgot to list out my second like episode that stuck out to me. It was the one where like Eddie and all the Eds were like filming a movie.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
Like pretty much most of the episode was just filmed through like a camera. It was just hilarious.
That was a very good one. But okay, that was a good one too. But okay, there was that part where Grunkle Stan was telling like bad marriage jokes to like a married couple trying to be romantic. That made me laugh.
Oh yeah, I love that. And then like the thing with that episode, that's a good. I mean, they all of them have like really good bits, but the whole co-captain bit. Like there's 3 of them on a boat, and like Dipper makes himself captain, and Mabel's like, I want to be co-captain. It's like, as co-captain I approve that captainship, and it's just like they say like co-captain like 50 times in the span of like 30 seconds. It's really good because it does I think it balances the whole like overarching plot versus like episodic thing that it has. It does a good job of, what I like is it kind of establishes itself as really great episode to episode early on.
Yeah.
And then things kind of unfold into like a big general, like big plot.
I bet like, cause was Gravity Falls a weekly show?
Yes. Yeah, it was on like, it got moved around because it started off like on Disney Channel and got like a pretty decent big push on Disney Channel, and then it got like an audience, but then once it kind of got an audience, they just kind of like said fuck it.
Yeah.
And Disney Channel like is like, we hate cartoons now. So they have like this big hit animated show, and they just shoved it over to Disney XD.
Which like I have like here in my home, not like in my dorm or anything. So
yeah. So like I couldn't watch new episodes when they came out at school because who the fuck has Disney XD? So that was annoying, and I still don't know why they made that choice. Alex Hirsch, the creator, has like kind of expressed some issues with Disney in the past. Like he's at points been like, oh, they gave me a lot of creative freedom, and they let me make my show, and they let me end it when I wanted to, which was big because it ended after 2 seasons, and some people were like, oh, it got canceled, and he was like, no, it's not canceled.
No, I finished
it's like, it's just done. Yeah, exactly. But and then in other ways, he's kind of in the past expressed some frustration with like the releases and like the DVD things and like promotional stuff. He's been kind of like, I would love to do this, but it's not in my hands. So if you really want to see that, go tell them to do it.
I asked because like I wanted to know because I know like even I don't know, I know you're not Cam, but I'm pretty sure even mentioned like I'm a pretty big Steven Universe fan, and Steven Universe is getting super stupid with balancing out these like regular standalone episodes and these story episodes.
Okay.
Like, yeah, in my opinion, at least, I don't know how you feel even. Like in this recent Steven Bomb, like which is like. Because Steven Universe, like Cartoon Network does this weird thing like lately where, I mean, like it's similar to probably like the way Nickelodeon does SpongeBob, just not as bad. Is like they have their popular shows that are like that play all day, and then they give a time slot to like 1 or 2 episodes of something else. Like they show like Gumball and Teen Titans Go all day, and then around like 6 they'll play like 2 episodes of We Bare Bears. Or something, and like with Steven, they don't give it like weekly new episodes. They usually just kind of like in spurts give you like 5 new episodes.
Don't they do like 1 new episode a day for like a whole week?
Yeah, like it's called
Cartoon Network likes to do that.
Yeah, it's called the Steven Bomb. That's usually what they call it.
Yeah.
And like the recent one they had, like just one of those episodes mattered in the long run. Like I feel.
Oh, that's annoying.
Like I don't know. Have you not seen them yet? Even.
Not yet. I do
Okay.
plan to.
Yes,
I do plan to.
they're all good. It's like what it mainly is that Steven Universe has a lot of characters now, and they have like they have like a need to develop them all. Like and like sometimes I just like I don't care about Connie's dad. Like I don't give a shit what Connie's dad's doing. Like
yeah, when you get
like,
that many characters, it's like okay, pay attention to the ones that are important.
Because they have a whole city of like very recognizable and memorable characters, and like it's cool and they're great and they're very diverse too. Like they have like this kind of like Middle Eastern family who runs a pizza shop or like something.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. They're like it's very diverse, and there are just so many of them, and they're constantly adding new ones, and they all need to be developed and they all need to be given time. But like what bugged me is like how like little screen time the main gems get sometimes. Like I think like the gems were in 2 of the 5, like legitimately.
Josh, I have a question.
Like, go for it.
Is Steven Universe on your list by any chance?
No, I bring this up now is because it's not, and and like this reason is why it's not on my best. But I love it. It's not going to be on my worst. But it just kind of like edged out of my best because I'm getting a little fed up with how little it's going the same way like Adventure Time started going, where like this is making money like crazy and there's no sign of it ending anytime soon, so they need to like needlessly pad this shit out.
Are you sure about that? Because like I mean the ratings that Steven Universe has been getting lately aren't that impressive. And
Really?
they seem they get like mostly like 1 million per episode, but like when you see like every single day is just like hours upon hours of like Teen Titans Go and Gumball and shit like that. I mean, when I see that, I'm thinking, oh, those are the shows that's making the money.
Yeah.
Rather than like Steven Universe. I mean, merchandise and stuff, you have that, but I'm not sure.
I don't know. Steven Universe is like a popular show, and I'm not really sure like what defines as like a hit, like for like as far as like viewership goes. But I feel like I feel like it is like, because if they're making most of their money off all the kids watching these reruns, I assume like okay, like if not, and when you have like limited releases like that, it gives it a little more like, because I don't know what I'm talking about.
So yeah, Gravity Falls is pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I'm also so really glad you brought up Steven Universe, because that was one of the options for my favorite shows.
Okay.
And now that means I get to talk about something else, which I actually did kind of want to talk about more than Steven Universe, because
like it's good, it's great, I love it, I adore it. It's one. It is like
same.
It is like one of the better shows Cartoon Network's ever made. I just think as of right now, it's kind of in a funk. Like and I think like, especially since Rebecca Sugar doesn't show any sign of leaving, because another thing, Pendleton Ward left Adventure Time, so I don't think like Steven Universe will go as hard into not really good territory as Adventure Time did, because Rebecca Sugar still very much believes in the project, and you can tell. So yeah, when she leaves, that's when we go and duck and cover, because you never know.
That a boy.
Yeah. You know what's funny?
Right.
One last thing about Steven Universe. Okay, so do we all know what Rebecca Sugar looks like?
Yes.
Yeah.
She's cute.
She's a cutie, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so, and even will know this. I'm pretty sure I got brought up to you too, Cam. There's one episode where they have a fusion, and that fusion is voiced by Nicki Minaj.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yes, and it's dope. But I'm just thinking Rebecca Sugar is this tiny little cutie.
So you're imagining her listening to Nicki Minaj?
Yeah, I'm imagining her listening, like she goes into work and she writes like, okay, and in this episode Steven learns that it's okay to be gay through a gem who likes to eat pineapples or whatever, something along the lines of that, and then she puts
That sounded really specific.
Through a gem that loves to eat pineapples, the gayest fruit, apparently.
So she puts on her little pink jacket and her big old glasses, and she goes home and she's like, I need to unwind and relax with some rejuvenate my chi or something. She probably says, I don't know. And she like pulls out her headphones and he was like, you'll be begging me to just put the head in and let me sit on your face. And they just
yeah. She's like, I want her to voice the pineapple gem.
Okay, I just have to.
Perfect. All right, so now we're moving on to our first segment of our least favorite shows. Josh, I believe you are first up to bat.
So I think this is a pretty easy choice. That's why I almost didn't do it. But I put it purely on like how much time I've wasted. Because when you're a kid, you watch anything, like really. Yeah. Like when you're like you don't like sometimes even if you like deep down you know it's bad. Like because sometimes when you're a kid, you watch a show and you think like you watch it and you're confident that you like it. But while you're watching it, you have this weird feeling that's actually an opinion that you previously didn't know you could have. So I'm just upset on how much the sheer amount of time I wasted watching Johnny Test.
Oh my god.
Yeah, like because I watched Johnny Test a shit ton.
I knew it.
Like I watched Johnny Test so much when I was a kid, thinking like, oh, it has a little kid, it's got a guitar solo, and he does things. That's what I watched.
It's also got a whip, several whips.
Like. It's like, this is just what I do. I watch cartoons because I'm a child, and I just watched it, and I wouldn't laugh, and I would leave it like, I liked that. Like, unaware that I can...
You did not laugh at all.
Yeah, I didn't laugh at all. It wasn't funny. It wasn't entertaining. Like, part of me really didn't like Johnny, but I was just like, I'm a kid, so I just like these things, because that's what I do.
And then it was like, wait a second.
Yeah, like, I don't like this. And then it was just, sucks. It's a shit show. Just in general, just complete lack of effort that ever goes into it.
It really is.
Like it's been said to death. Like I feel like of all the shows to call garbage, the order it goes of easy is Modern, SpongeBob, then Johnny Test. Like I think that's the order in like shitty like easy opinion.
Yeah.
It really is so legitimately unfunny and just like awful. It's one of the that's the thing when it comes to like shows like that is there's a point where it's like, okay, yeah, it's really bad, but I don't think there's a lot of merit in talking about it sometimes just because it's like there is a point where it's like you are getting legitimately like angry and frustrated at like a stupid kids show that's not for you. And
that again I just watched because it was colorful.
I'm not saying you are. I'm saying that like people there's a tendency to get like over like angry at it, but just like all that it is just like it's a really shitty kids show. It's just bad.
Yeah. I'm glad you entered that opinion. I'm not saying anything.
It's not the end of the world, but like wow, it really is quite bad. And I would like to know more about the psyche. We're entering
some pretty good opinion territory here. We're entering some pretty good territory.
All I'm saying is that I would like to meet the people who write Johnny Test and be like, so like, what's that like? How is that feeling?
It's pretty much done now, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's over.
Because I want to know if like they're like, it's just fun and we have fun with it and it's whatever, or they're like, bro, the show is fucking sick. It's just awesome.
I think generally, like, because I saw a comedy show recently, and like it was like the dude was mentioning how he used to write for a show, and he was like, it was a shitty show. I'm not allowed to say the name. We'll get sued now because I just call it a shitty show. But like a lot, like if like anything else, like it's a job for the writers. Like they know what's expected of them.
Yeah.
So like the guys who are there are probably like maybe like talented writers. They're just told like write this specifically. You know what I mean? Like, you never know. You never know with these shows. They could also just hired hack writers. You never really know.
But for the whip guy, it was the highlight of his career.
The sound editor guy, like,
it's like this would be a great time for.
I also was I'm sorry, just one more thing. I was just floored, like in retrospect, like how like not creative their villains were. That
is true.
I love shows that have reoccurring villains. Like Powerpuff Girls, like let's see what like Shaolin Showdown had it too.
Shaolin Showdown.
Yeah, Shaolin. Yeah,
I love that
thing. Danny Phantom. I like shows that have like established villains who are constantly trying to do things
and who could like pop in any episode.
Yeah, like that could pop in any episode. For Johnny, he just had lame ones. Like I can't even like name them. I can just name their archetype, like Cat.
Yeah, I was gonna say they had the villain. The villain is Cat.
They had the Cat. They had the Ice Guy.
Yeah, Iceman. I don't even remember it.
The only one I can name by name is Bling Bling Boy.
Well, it's because he's got swag, and you can't deny that.
Yeah.
He was rich and he was
was
also overweight. Those were his two qualities.
G-Eazy as a child.
There was oh my god, that's right. There was also Darth Vegan.
Oh yeah.
Just the absolute worst joke. Just not funny in any way whatsoever.
They also had a female love interest that was literally just
This is
like
Johnny,
a gender-bent Johnny.
but like a girl.
Well, technically they had 2 and sort of 3, I think.
They only know because they had that other popular girl who didn't last long, who they
Yeah.
quickly replaced, and then they had the gender bent Johnny. That was it.
Yeah.
Like that was. I'm positive there are more villains. I just can't remember them.
Yeah, so like with me and Johnny Test, I really don't have a whole lot to add because it's a terrible show. But like the first season, when it was all just traditionally hand drawn, like what the kind of the norm was, that first season was kind of okay.
It was fine.
In my opinion.
They had like a gimmick, didn't they? Where like all the conflicts had to be solved before dinner was ready or something.
I think there was almost something like that. I don't think it was like an established set thing, but like kind of.
Yeah, there was one episode where the Mole King. That was another one. The Mole King was another villain.
Boy.
That was shitty. Like Dwellers Underground. That's original. But like they just had one episode where like I think it was part of the marketing too, and it was like Johnny Test. Will he save the world before dinner time? Like that was part of the commercials. So I assumed I guess the rest of them were like that.
Yeah.
So like the moment they switched to Flash, however, in the second season, that's when everything went to shit. Like, oh wow.
Yes.
It was just awful. Just oh man, I can't.
Yeah,
I just can't.
See,
can't.
Cam, we just went off on just Johnny Test, so you don't have to worry about not having bad stuff.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
All right.
I have like names,
right.
but not much to say. So go ahead, even.
Go again.
Okay. This is gonna be a weird choice. So have you guys ever heard of a show like you guys like watch Cartoon Network somewhat regularly, right?
Yeah, mostly.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Well, if you do, you might know this one. Have you ever heard of a show called GarageBand?
Oh God, yes.
I don't think I have. Like the Apple software.
Well, no, that's like infinitely better than what I'm going to be the actual show I'm talking about.
Okay.
To be honest. Like GarageBand, it's by the Total Drama people.
Yeah.
So and like I liked Total Drama at least for the first couple seasons. First 2 at least. Yeah. But with GarageBand, like here's the concept. So it's like a bunch of teenagers and they're in a band. But they can't write songs very well.
They just suck.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Like they're okay. Like the instrument playing in the singing, they just suck at writing.
Yes.
So the premise is like because they suck at writing, the main guy like depends on his sister's diary for lyrics.
Oh.
So it's like. What I thought it'd be, it's just like stealing the diary, using whatever's in the diary to write their songs, and then just doing the songs. And you know what? Say what you want about it. I kind of liked it. I thought it could be interesting. But...
Can you like edit in a butt? Like you said that in such a comedic way. Can you please edit in a butt? Like right as you say that. Like a butt.
I will do that swiftly. But yeah, like as soon as I saw the show, I probably should have seen this coming. I don't know why I expected it anymore. It was like the thing is, they don't actually steal the diary. The whole thing is they try to get the sister to actually write in the diary.
Yeah, like the whole episode is like a conflict, and then like at some point they need to like edge their sister emotionally, and then there's a whole sequence where she just decides to write in her diary.
That's incredible.
And then, like very contrivedly, and then they get it immediately after, and then they have a song.
Yeah, and it's like, and it's the same thing over and over and over again. It's like with Johnny Test. It's over and over and over again. It's like no change, barely any character development.
That sounds like Johnny Test, but like also really creepy. Like if you add like an especially creepy, crucial plot point to every episode of Johnny Test.
Well, to be fair, it looks better than Johnny Test. I mean, it's still animated with Flash, but at least it looks more competent.
If you've watched one video tutorial on how to use Flash, your show probably looks better than Johnny Test. Like
Johnny Test is really ugly.
Yeah, dude.
Oh man. But yeah, so like based on that and just so yeah, like it's not just because they didn't make use of the premise very well. It's just it's not a very good show either. And like it's not funny. I hate all the characters, and it's again the same thing over and over again, really repetitive. So yeah, it's one of my least favorite shows.
That sounds like garbage.
It is.
Okay,
Okay. More like Garbage Band.
Oh.
Thank you.
I was gonna say I have like one bad one in specific that I do want to talk about, but I want to save it till after my number 2 good one because it'll be relevant then. So we can just skip on to Josh. No one needs to hear me talk.
All right,
it's very important.
Okay, back to the favorite shows.
Okay, fine. Let's go through one more because like we're edging on time here. Like we're already nearing an hour. So like okay, we'll both get one more good one, and then afterwards we just mention one more. Like of whatever we want, whatever we feel like talking about. How about that?
Cool.
All right, cool.
I don't mean to take control of your show. It's just a suggestion.
Josh, literally anyone else taking control of our show provides for a better show.
I just want it's like the most recent show I wanted to talk about.
Right.
BoJack Horseman is just absolutely fantastic of a show.
What I've seen of it is indeed.
Yeah, pretty much everyone like I've ever recommended to like said the same thing, that the first episode wasn't good, and that sucks. Like it isn't like it's not great. The first episode's not that great, and I have a friend who I'm like, you'd love BoJack Horseman if you watched it, and she tried it and she's like, yeah, I couldn't get past the first episode. I'm like, I fucking know, like, yeah, it's so like not good, but it just gets so like powerful and good like later on. And just perfectly I think like comes the closest to perfectly capturing just like a self-destructive hatred towards yourself, like in a very like real way that a horse can have.
With a horseman.
Yes. Yeah, have you seen it even? I recommend it.
Yeah, well, I've heard a lot of things about it.
It's like I tried watching the first episode and like
I'd be furious.
My brother like has gotten way into it. He really loves it as well. He's seen it all.
There should be a new season coming out like next month because like usually the way it works is that they release a new season every July.
Oh really?
Okay.
Yeah, it's usually how it goes.
I will say that it has like still, I know it's like not like the main draw of the show, but I still swear one of the funniest fucking jokes I've ever like laughed at a TV show so hard is where pretty early in the episode, it's the one, because I've only watched like most of the first season. It's the one where who's the biographer, Josh? What's her name?
Diane.
I thought it was Diane. Where BoJack and Diane go to Diane's house after her dad dies.
Oh yeah,
and early on in the episode, or not too early on, but like they're driving and she's like talking about how she's not that close with her family, and she's like, and BoJack says, "Oh, so you're the black sheep of the family, huh?" And she's like, "Oh no, that's Reggie. He's adopted," or something like that. Because it's like, and then like you show up and that sibling is just a black sheep.
Yeah, like an actual black sheep. Like he is adopted because everyone else is human in Vietnamese. And he's like, he's a black sheep because he's adopted.
And it's like, no, he's just a black sheep. Yeah. And it killed me because they don't make any like specific reference to like, so that's what you meant, like that's just it. Like if you remember that she said that, then it's hilarious.
I didn't even notice it the first time I watched it. Like
I do remember like pointing that out. Like when I watched it, I was like, Josh, this is the funniest fucking joke ever, and he was like, oh
yeah, like I didn't even notice it. It was so good.
Yeah, I should get back on BoJack.
Yeah, dude, it's great, and like especially like with a new season. I think like I don't know, it keeps proving me wrong in the sense that like because the way the show generally goes is that it's the most depressing like it's been very smart about it up to this point. Like generally like it's a very depressing and very like real show about someone who has like very real like depression and self-hatred, and then it ends with things not being okay, but like it might be one day. And that's sometimes all you can hope for. Like really, just kind of like it's like things aren't okay now, but one day they might be, and the idea of that makes living worth it. But but it keeps getting new seasons.
One day it has to be better.
Yeah, like
or not.
It's not a perfect ending, but like that's how life is. Like really, one thing, like it keeps getting new season. I'm just thinking like, oh, the last ending was perfect, and I keep thinking like the next season's gonna suck because it should have ended here. But they do this really clever thing where like, not only does it continue because life continues, but usually the depressing way this season goes is directly contradictory to the lesson of the previous one.
Oh, really?
Like the end of like the second season was like, sometimes you just got to keep moving, man. And then the next season was him like keep moving, keep continuing to move, and it ended with just horribly. Like him like just horribly. Like he's constantly following the advice of these people, but it still ends up with him being very self-destructive to himself.
Yeah.
And like it mostly works. It just can't go on forever.
Yeah.
Like and that's my main thing. It can get bad any minute now, is what I'm saying.
But
like,
it hasn't yet.
Yeah, it hasn't yet. It's been very good up to this point. Like, I think, like, the most recent ending was probably, like, its least strongest in the sense that it was just kind of, like, it was an official, like, giving up moment of, like, because, like, he was about to, I don't want to spoil it. Like, but, like, I don't want to spoil it. But, like, yeah, like, I felt like it was fine. It's just, it can't go on forever before it starts getting ridiculous. But yeah, okay.
Before the talking horse show gets ridiculous.
Yeah, yes, exactly. Go even. What's your other good one?
So did you say that we could like do another of our favorite shows like real quick after we did our...
Yeah, like after this round, you can just mention whatever you want.
Okay. I oh dear. I can't. It's so difficult. Which one I want to go in depth? Fuck it. Regular show.
Oh.
Hey, there we go.
Yeah, regular show. I think regular show is another one of those shows that lost a lot of its appeal when it decided to be a story. Like
I can definitely see your.
Yeah, I don't know.
Reason,
that's just my opinion. I feel like I'm alone in that in a sense.
Well, see, I'm coming from a perspective where like I haven't watched like the later seasons.
Yeah, I've seen a few episodes of the later seasons, and I generally like this whole like love thing with like Margaret and like how like I don't know, and I don't know, it got weird. It got weird.
Well, I mean, it was very weird from the beginning.
Yeah, but it got weirdly like into itself, in my opinion, in the sense that like it had like a reputation, like it was just very organically weird and just like, hey guys, we're gonna like go mow the lawn, and then they end up like destroying the planet. Like, yeah. and that was funny, and it was all well and good. But towards the end, it got really like into itself and taking itself a little more seriously. And I just think like that wasn't really what I liked about the show. So, and that's just me though. That's just kind of thing that I got from it. I don't know.
Well, I mean, ignoring the fact that the show pretty much dominated my entire high school and half of my college life.
Yes.
I just really like it. I just like all the characters, all the interactions. I do like the stories that do happen in there. I will admit that the final season, the one where they went up in the space, was kind of disappointing for me.
Yeah.
But it really did come together in the end. And
I know I only saw one episode of the one where they were in space, and it was like I think the Christmas one. And like the one where they went into like the theoretical mall, and that was very good. Okay, Cam. Essentially, what that episode was about was that they had to go shopping for a Christmas gift, and the only mall open. There was only one mall open theoretically.
Oh.
So they went into this mall that was theoretically open, and the guy says like everything here is theoretical. So like, they went in and like they're just it's like you need to stay focused because anything that theoretically could happen will happen.
Oh my god!
They walk in and they see like a store, like a toy store, and they're like, oh, like no, we need to go get the present. But like a new Mordecai and Rigby will appear, and they go into the toy store and mess around, so they see themselves having fun, and they're like, like,
oh my god,
yeah. It's like things like that too. Like with Ed, Edd n Eddy, the show is just really smart with its writing. As ridiculous as it can get, it's just it knows what it's doing, and that really again comes together towards the end of the final season and the finale, the 3-part finale. Oh dear, I'm not going to say anything. I think you guys should watch for yourself. But there's a licensed song because of course it's regular. So there's a licensed song that kicks in at the very end, and it's so perfect.
It's from the 80s, correct?
I'm not gonna say anything more. You're gonna have to find that out for yourself. But
I should. I remember it dominated my high. Like I was like when I was in high school, I was like tuning in weekly. Like, oh, I can't do this.
Yeah,
tonight.
same.
I have to watch regular show.
Yeah.
That was when I still like watched TV. Like I loved regular show. During high school. It was like the first straight up because like Cartoon Network had like glimpses of like adultness in it like through its shows, but like with Adventure Time like it had some dark shit in it, but like a regular show was the closest to like a straight up just adult show that they had. Like there was very little like in the way of like coding it to be super happy or anything, because like it wasn't that interesting to look at in like a pure like
visual sense,
like pure visual face values. Like they had some moments, but generally it was just like he's a bird, he's a raccoon, what the fuck ever. Like it was just a straight up adult like you are here for the comedy that we create type show, and it was very good and I loved it.
Yeah. Have you guys ever seen like one of the original shorts that the show eventually evolved from?
What is it? The what is it, like 4 in the AM PM or whichever one it is?
2 in the AM PM.
Yeah, that one's good. That's funny. I like that short.
I should give that a shot.
Man.
I like to imagine that like the scenario that sets that up is just what's happening in the show.
Like it started at some point.
Well, like you would understand if you watched it, but like it's not like a spoiler. It's like a short. Like you see like Benson and Mordecai are like in that like the voices play like the two main characters who are just working at like a convenience store.
Yeah.
And they drop acid during their shift.
Yeah.
And so like they hallucinate themselves as like a blue jay and a gumball machine.
A blue jay with a fanny pack.
Yeah.
To specify.
And they just start freaking out, and it's pretty damn funny. And it's also just really funny to hear Mordecai just be like, "Fuck."
Oh yeah, dude. They were so close.
You pissed me
off. Did you guys hear that he's making a new show, JJ Quintal?
I did.
Yeah.
Oh really? What is it?
And it just looks pretty much identical, but is
Oh, you're talking about that like other like Steven Universe style show of like little kid in magical world.
I don't think so. No, it literally just looks like regular show, but just an adult cartoon instead of.
Yeah, it's.
What the hell am I thinking of? What were those shorts? Anyways, yeah. Oh, okay, I didn't know that. Is it also going to be on Cartoon Network?
No, it's going to be on TBS.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, like, it's going to be called, I think, Close Enough, and it's like some sort of adult animated comedy or something. It's apparently going to be about a couple and like just their life.
Yeah.
But it looks like it's going to take the weirdness from regular show and just crank that up by 10. Like I saw a GIF of like
just a bunch of
hang on. What excuse me? Excuse me, did you just fucking call it a GIF?
It's a GIF, you dummy.
It's fuck off.
GIF something.
It's
I'm
a GIF.
sorry.
GIF is better.
GIF. It's GIF.
Okay. Well, I saw a moving image that's has more memory than a PNG file because it's a moving image.
Yes.
where there's just a clown in his underpants and he's just thrusting his dick on top of an office table.
Yeah, but completely in regular show's animation style.
Yeah.
Like I think like shit like that, like you gotta like part of what made regular shows so funny, like and like shows like that in general, like the fact what made it so funny was that like it had to be clever with its shit.
They had all the fanciest balls in here.
Yeah.
It had to be clever because it had to be clever because it wasn't allowed to be straight up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like if you make it just straight up, it'll like lose something.
Well, even when regular show did kind of get straight up, there were still those weird elements injected into it. Like the one episode where I like they get trapped in the friend zone, Mordecai and Margaret. That was one of the lesser ones, but that kind of stuck in my head. I'm not entirely sure why. And I'm going to be completely honest. I was entirely obsessed with the whole will they, won't they relationship thing. I was young and in high school, and yeah, that's pretty much all I need to say there.
All right, Cam, your last best one before we move on.
Okay, well, I'm just going to do my number one best one for the final take anyway, but that works out. 2 and 3 are super close. And Josh might know when I say this what it is. They're basically separated for me like only by their endings.
Oh, okay.
Neither have good endings in my opinion. They're both like subpar. But I think this one is a little more fitting. It's Mystery Incorporated.
Yeah.
And I won't give away the ending, but I also wanted to touch on this with Gravity Falls, but I wasn't gonna. I know Josh has seen all of Mystery Incorporated. Have you seen any of it even?
I've seen like perhaps I think maybe the first season. I need to watch the whole thing though.
I really it's so good, definitely. The second season gets fucking crazy.
Like I know, like you can like say, oh, it's just me. I'm a Scooby-Doo fan. No, this show is legitimately incredible.
Yeah,
I like Scooby-Doo. I'm just like, it's a thing for me. But like I was like my jaw hit the floor with like every episode because like it's just as a Scooby-Doo fan, Scooby-Doo should not be that good.
Yeah, like
I would love for it to be that good all the time, but it's just so good and like well thought, and it's just weird because like there's no like I feel like with a lot of these like really just great, well thought out like animated shows, there's like a person behind it.
Yeah.
Like there's Alex Hirsch for Gravity Falls, there's Rebecca Sugar for Steven Universe. Like I don't know who made this. I don't know who to thank for this show. Because it just kind of seems like it came out, it was just the next Scooby-Doo, but it's incredible. What I was going to say about the ending is that I felt like, I won't spoil, but I do feel like both Gravity Falls and Mystery Incorporated got resolved really cleanly.
Yeah.
Like they just really like, for all that the interesting and complex stuff that was going on before the ending. And the thing is that makes it like especially disappointing is the 2 episodes immediately before the finale of Mystery Incorporated are fucking incredible.
Yeah, like wow.
Like the shit that goes down, like I won't say it, but that one thing that happens in the second to last episode, like actually blew me away. There's like one thing that happens in this, I think it's the second to last episode, but it might be like the third, just like actually like shocking that they did that.
I remember being super like
because I told you like something's gonna happen and you're gonna be like, no, they didn't just do that, but they did. It's not a fake out.
Oh, dude. Like, wow.
Yeah, it's really incredible.
I mean, in the context of the ending, it was somewhat a fake out.
Yes, but okay, but like in the context of the ending, it was somewhat a fake out, but not
not really.
What you think happened did happen.
Yes. I don't know. I think like the Mystery Incorporated ending was better because like I haven't seen Gravity Falls, so it's
what I was gonna say really quickly. Can I just say what I was gonna say before you add on?
Go for it.
Not to be rude, just yes. I want to like introduce what I'm saying.
Go for it.
Is that it was super clean and kind of like convenient and also like kind of weirdly cheesy and cliche. But the reason why I like it more than Gravity Falls ending is because at least it was fitting with like the tone and direction that the show was going.
Yes.
Like, towards the end, it was like, okay, this is like the takeaway from the show. This is like not like the message really, but like this is an important theme that we're working with as this show comes to a close. And Gravity Falls had that too. But the difference is that, like, whereas the not so great ending of Scooby-Doo was done to kind of further that theme and really drive it home, the Gravity Falls ending kind of completely goes against all of those themes that they had spent a lot of time building up. So while it wasn't very good, it was at least consistent and made sense as an ending for the show. I don't think it was the best possible ending for the show, but it was an ending of the show that made sense and was consistent, which I don't think Gravity Falls was. I think Gravity Falls' ending was actually kind of really bad.
Yeah, it's quite literally what I was going to say.
Yeah, because like what I was going to say is there are several moments where I was like, Josh, Mystery Incorporated is an anime.
It really is. Like from structure, it's like, dude, no shit. Like from like the way it's like written, it's structured, the way the characters are, it's very anime-ish.
And it
God, do they fucking love shadows? Like, dude, the shadows in this show are fucking beautiful.
Well, the show is just, it's so nice looking. Like, if you just like look up like the art style and just like look up just like individual, it looks fantastic.
Yeah.
Like, it just, everything is so striking and great. And they like do original and cool things with the mysteries that are really fun.
My favorite will always be like it's not like my favorite episode by far, but my favorite will always be where the mystery, like the guy under the suit, was someone they just didn't know. Like just it was
like that'll happen. They'll be like, wait, who is that?
He was all like, oh my god, it's who is? And then other characters knew who he was. Like other characters,
it's
like
this
you
guy.
Did this? Like.
But like the audience and the gang has like who is that? Another really strong one is there's a guy who like they suspect of committing a bunch of like being the culprit in a bunch of episodes, but it's never him. He's just like a really shady dude. But then he's the culprit in one that he's not even in. and they were just like, oh yeah, of course it was him. We knew it was going to be him eventually.
It's
like,
red hair.
No way. Yeah, it is a little like red herring-y. It has a lot, and this is the most like negative thing about it. There are like it's fair share of not fair share. Like out of like the 52 episodes, there are like 3 or 4 that are particularly like kind of weak, and one that's really bad.
Yeah, like there's it was like the episode before it got fucking insane too, right?
It was the episode. Yeah, it was so weird because the worst episode of the series is right before the amazing 2 episodes before the finale.
Yeah, like
smack dab right before it, and it's just a really like shitty, like poorly thought out and like corny, dumbass episode.
Yeah, that like at best was again that at worst was just straight up sexist. Like
yeah, at best was like corny and stupid, and at worst is like just pretty dang sexist.
Okay. Yes, I recommend it though. Even it's fantastic.
Oh yeah, it really is. It really is a great show. Just like literally everything about it is just, and they really understood how to use Scooby comedically in that show.
Yes.
Like that's the last note is that they really knew what to do with Scooby. He's not just there.
Yes, like he is.
My favorite joke.
Go
ahead. I think I know what it's gonna be.
Yeah, my favorite joke was when like Scooby got framed for doing something. So like they threw him in the pound, and like Fred was just like, I can't believe they threw Scooby in jail like an animal.
Yeah, they do a lot of shit like, and like it's always like I've heard people like not love like how people aren't super weirded out by Scooby just being a talking dog and just being around because everyone's just kind of but like the sheriff like points it out like once or twice.
Yeah, like especially like remember like it was during a crime where the cop was interviewing Scooby about it.
Yeah,
like he was like, so what did you see? And he was like, oh, I saw the truck. Like,
yeah,
like...
And like they're just like Scooby has a lot of just really fun. Like there's one where like Fred is annoying him, and he's like, "Oh, what's up, Scooby? Do I need to take you for a walk?" And Scooby's like, "I walk myself, Fred." And there's like another episode where there's like, so you guys saw a demon truck on fire coming down the freeway and it ran you off the road into the ditch and blah 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 blah, and there's like a pause and then it's just like Scooby is just like, yeah, that's pretty much it.
It's such a good show.
It's just a great show, and it's just fun. It's like it really is like just a fun, and the overarching mystery is weird and eventually kind of just goes batshit, but I don't know. I like it. I love everything about that show.
I do too.
It's literally like everything I could ever want. And the only reason why it's not like my favorite animated show of all time is because of like a technicality that's not super fair.
Yeah. Okay, so we got one more thing we can talk about before we should probably duck out. I was gonna put this on, like, it was the other worst show I wanted to mention, and it's not even a bad show. It's just, I think it's very,
it's not bad, it's just the worst.
Yeah, it's like very heavily overrated in my opinion, and like you'll like the minute I say it, you'll get it. I think you might disagree with me. I know Cam doesn't. I don't know about you even. I think that Hey Arnold is super not great. Like I like.
Hey.
There was like static when you had said "hey," so I had no idea what you were saying.
Yeah.
My least favorite is
the podcast rejected your shitty opinion. I've legitimately I haven't watched Hey Arnold much at all.
Okay.
Yeah,
like
same.
I had like the rose tinted glasses for it, and then I was walking through Walmart and I found the complete season on DVD, and I'm like, I'm gonna hit this shit up. And I bought it, like, again, like, this wasn't cheap. It wasn't that expensive, but it was still like the complete series of Hey Arnold. And I watched it, and I was just like, this is boring as shit. Like, this is super.
It does strike me as pretty bleak. And like,
yeah,
I don't know. That's not what
I.
Go ahead.
I generally like bleak, like very like depressing things, but it was just boring. Like, it was just a lot of like. There were only like an actual handful of, like, 'cause people are always toting like, oh, Hey Arnold had this character and he represented this, blah 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 blah. And I'm just like, yeah, it doesn't make it like interesting. Like, they had like Helga's mother being an alcoholic, like, and whatever, and I'm just like, yeah, that's true, but it doesn't immediately translate to it being an interesting character. They had one guy who liked candy, who was supposed to be a heroin addict apparently, who again I didn't give a shit about. The only character that I could really say was actually interesting was Helga. Like, whenever the show was about Helga, it was dope. Because Helga was like a like confused ass little girl who was lost in the world, and she was really interesting and nice. But Arnold himself was like a super boring blank slate who like was always perfect, never did anything wrong. And when he did do something wrong, it was like the whole episode was dedicated to like, how am I gonna make it up to you? Because I know inherently that I was wrong, and there's no fucking black or white to this because I'm perfect. And it was just, I'm just so not good. In my opinion, not the worst show ever. Like, it did something right, you know. Like,
speaking of rose tinted glasses, I want to just touch on this one real quick. You guys know Code Lyoko?
I do.
Oh yeah. I like Code Lyoko a lot.
I just want to point out really, this just reminded me, on like one of the last days of school, I was sitting in the dining hall, and there are these couple people, this like group of people, like 3 tables over, who are having a very loud conversation about cartoons. And at one point, they did just scream, like, I heard someone go like, hey, remember Code Lyoko? And just like, oh, Code Lyoko! They went in the video game, man! And it was really good. It was really good.
Yeah, well, I went to rewatch the first like 6 or 7 episodes of the first season, and I gotta say, I'm sure it does get a lot better. I do remember it getting better, but it wasn't a whole lot of fun to sit through.
Oh, really?
You should probably see it for yourself.
Isn't it like a French anime, or is it like something weird like
it's
that?
It's a French anime. It's like French animated with an English dub. And like. I don't want to like completely dissect them now because we don't have time. But like, if you watch the first 6 episodes or so of the first season, then you can kind of understand what I'm getting at. It's not terrible, but it's not as good as I once thought it was. But again, the second or third seasons are probably a lot better.
Yeah, I feel you.
Yes. Yeah, so like speaking of rose tinted glasses, anyway. So was that like your Hey Arnold was your thing to talk about, Josh?
Yes.
All right. So my last actual thing I want to also briefly touch on. And I want. Oh man, there's so many shows that we gotta like all watch now. But I really want this to be one of the first ones if like you guys decide to for some weird reason. I want this to be one of the first ones you do watch. Symbiotic Titan.
Oh yeah, I heard a lot about that.
Yeah.
Oh my, it's like from the creator of Samurai Jack and Dexter's Laboratory. It lasted only 20 episodes. And it's just, oh my god, I just cannot put it into words. It's just fantastic. It has giant robots in them.
Of course.
Hooray!
Yeah, and it's just like very, very good show. It was a tragedy. I'm not putting it lightly. It was a tragedy, practically a crime that it got canceled.
That's sad. That's so sad.
Yeah, so that's pretty much what I gotta say. Symbiotic Titan is the greatest thing ever.
How do you feel about that show?
I mean, yeah, it's pretty good. I've seen better.
It's okay. Throw him in jail.
All right.
Yeah.
Cam, I'm sorry. Are you good, Ethan?
Oh yeah, I'm good. Cam, talk about your thing now.
Give us your bad one, or like, did you like not really want to mention it?
Oh, I mean, all I was gonna say is that like, there's just not much interesting. I was just gonna say like, on the other side of the Scooby-Doo coin, there's this show that Shaggy and Scooby-Doo Get a Clue.
Oh boy.
Oh.
I'm not gonna. Don't watch it. Just don't, because it's just a waste of your time. It's the worst one there is, but I would suggest, just to like get all of how bad it is in like one go, just watch the theme song. Just watch the intro.
Yeah. Like, what exactly is just so bad about it?
God. It's just ugly. It's just hideously ugly. That's probably the main thing. But it's just like, it's just unappealing in any way. Like it was the first one where they tried to do like an overarching plot. So that like, actually it wasn't, because 13 Ghosts of Scooby-Doo. So it wasn't. But they tried to do it in that one, but they also basically like removed any of, it's just like, okay, so take Scooby-Doo and have him not solving mysteries, and instead have him living in a big mansion with just Shaggy and none of the other characters, and introduce a random villain who you don't care about, and just have him do schemes on them every week.
Oh, that's okay.
And with like
until they get a clue and get the hell out of the mansion.
Yeah, exactly, and just with like garbage, uninventive writing that's not fun. It's just like, it's just not good. But they have like superpower Scooby snacks.
So my god.
So that's cool. It's not
super
cool.
Powered Scooby snacks.
It's not, and it's like
SPSS.
Oh, it's like they're like, ooh, it's like bio machines or nano machines. Whenever you have nano machines involved in a movie, you know it's really good. Or it's TV, or it's Scooby-Doo series. So it's bad, but watch the theme song. I wanted to quickly say that because I mentioned that Mystery Inc. isn't my favorite animated series, and because it's not fair.
Yeah.
Because my favorite is Over the Garden Wall.
Oh
yeah.
I forgot about the garden wall.
I want to dedicate, if I could interrupt you just for like the millionth time for just 1 second.
Definitely.
I want to dedicate a whole episode of this show one day to Over the Garden Wall.
Yeah, it's totally doable. So I'm not gonna talk about it much. But the reason why I have it above like Mystery Inc., but it's not super fair, is because it is a miniseries. It only has 10 episodes, but like, I think it might actually be perfect. If it had more episodes, then maybe they could have done like anything wrong. But I don't think they did. The closest is it's questionable how necessary episode 3 is.
You talking about the one with the school?
Yeah, but I love episode 3, so I don't.
Yeah, dude. I feel like I waited and like that one. I felt like it was really out of tone and really didn't like help. Like, it was very like unhelpful to the tone they were trying to set up. And
I think
inhibited it, honestly. Because at that point in the show, you knew nothing. Like, you knew nothing. And you were just kind of, like, lost in the darkness of it all. And you're just like, oh, my God, where are they? Are they going to be okay?
Yeah.
It's so scary. And then just very early on, you find a group of happy individuals who are like, hey, I'm going to donate money to a school.
Like kind of.
They're not entirely happy, to be
I mean,
honest.
like, yeah. But
like I said, like I'll like talk about this more and why I think the episode it probably is the weakest episode.
Definitely is the weakest episode.
But I don't think it's bad, and I do think it contributes at least something. But like that's like when I think of like what are my issues with Over the Garden Wall, I'm like episode 3, I guess like it doesn't need to be there. It's better that it is, but like if you cut it, it would still work. But like, oh my God, it's just everything about it is like, oh. So that's like basically what it boils down to, is that like Mystery Inc. had like 50 episodes, so some of them were going to be duds.
Yes.
And Over the Garden Wall has 10, and they're 11 minutes long. So
1/5 of 50.
Yeah, and like you could argue like, oh, there's like 5 or 6 bad episodes, not bad, but like not great episodes of Mystery Incorporated, and there's one debatably not amazing episode of Over the Garden Wall. But it's just that, so like it's not fair because it's so short that it literally can be pretty much perfect, maybe.
Yeah, I feel you. I just feel like I think that just goes to show, like, in general, like, shows should be shorter in general, in my opinion.
Probably.
Like,
that's why I think that Gravity Falls was ended at a nice time. Like to go back to that, like when he was like, oh, there are people like, oh, why is it canceled? He's like, no, it's done. There are like 50 episodes. That's a lot of episodes. That's enough episodes.
Yes.
It's over.
It's good.
And it was. Even though the ending was kind of bad. But that's not important.
All right, so is that all, guys? You got everything on your systems?
That's all, folks.
I wanted to mention one more thing I just thought about right now.
Okay.
Oh. Okay, real quick. So there was an episode of Adventure Time where Jake met his girlfriend, Lady Rainicorn's parents.
Oh, I remember that one.
Yeah, and like at the end they have a very nice dinner, and like they're like, hey, have some of this. It tastes exactly like what we used to eat, human.
Oh.
And Finn's like, oh, like, come on, it's really good. It tastes exactly like it. There's not even a difference. So Finn eats it, and then he smiles at the taste, and then it ends.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, that's
it
terrifying.
Ended with Finn enjoying the taste of human being.
It's like, that's pretty good.
Yes, exactly.
Oh, Adventure Time.
Yes.
I still like that show.
I need to watch because I know I stopped because I got super bored with it, and like kind of again it was like showing signs of like this will never end kind of thing. So, but yeah, okay, I won't hold up anymore. I promise. That's it.
All right, so I hope you folks out there who are listening to this got yourself a nice list of shows to watch now. You're welcome.
Yeah.
Also, shows to avoid. You're welcome for that, too. Thanks for coming on, Josh. Real happy
problem,
you could
dude.
come
Thanks,
on
man.
here
I
finally.
really greatly enjoyed it. I'm glad we made it happen.
It was so fun having you.
Yes, I
so
hope
much
to
fun.
be back if you don't blackball me from the industry.
Okay, you blackballed. That's it.
Yeah. And that'll wrap it up for this episode of Everything But Music. So until the next time, I don't know. So one of you two say something.
Something.
Shit, that was going to be my joke. That was going to be my uncreative joke.
There, end it right there.
Yep, just end it there.
Bye, bitch.
I'm going to end it like that now.